Hello, everybody. My name is Karen Caig with Reiki Institute, and I'm here with
Kathy Milanowski. How you doing, guys?
That's right. We're here because we're really excited about a new class that we're teaching, and we decided we needed to do a quick commercial and tell you guys about it. So it is regular Reiki 1 and 2. It's the same price as you would pay if you were taking Reiki 1 and 2 with any licensed Reiki master teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training, and we're covering all of that material. You will be attuned to the Reiki energy, but as empaths and intuitives, Kathy and I decided to team up. So you're going to get 2 licensed Reiki master teachers for the price of 1, and we're going to share some extra information with people who really struggle with being super sensitive. So before we jump in, and Kathy's going to share some of her experiences and I'll share some of mine, I want to see if any of these things sound familiar to you. There are really sort of 3 different classifications I consider of highly sensitive people. In fact, one is called HSP for highly sensitive person, and this may be the person who really, really struggles. They're super sensitive to sounds, to smells, to tastes, to other people's feelings as well. I look back on an incident I had when I was like 6 years old and just having a fit before I went to school because there was a wrinkle in my sock and it was driving me crazy how it felt on my foot. And so HSPs, highly sensitive people, have a lot of trouble working through, just daily life. And that may be you. I mean, loud sounds or just too many sounds. It may really, really bother you. And Reiki can help you with that. The next type or level, it's not really like a level up, but someone who's learned to navigate through all of those sensitivities better, and we call those empaths, and they're still really sensitive, but they've learned to maybe have a little bit more distinction between, okay, that's their feelings, these are my feelings, but they're not just driven totally berserk by sensory overload. Empaths identify with other people. They're very open, and you may be an empath if people just come up to you and start telling you their life story. Kathy will talk probably a little bit more about that as well. And then intuitives, those are people who really are developing their third eye abilities, and they intuit situations and people. Anyway, all of these characteristics they're benefits, but they can also bring problems in your life. And so this is something that Reiki can help you with. And that's what this class is going to specialize in. So Kathy, go ahead. Tell them some of your experience.
One of the greatest things about Reiki, when you do get connected to the Reiki source, what many Reiki practitioners will say is that Reiki will guide you into this and open your senses up more. So if you're not so sensitive in your heart center, how you feel, you might get development and you might start feeling more, and just like your intuitive center. So I've noticed a couple things with people that how you can tell, are they more empathic? Are they more intuitive? And here's 2 easy ways to see that or feel that is that, or they could be a combination like I am. So when they start talking and describing something, they will say, I am feeling this. I feel this is the right way. Intuitives, they're more like, I see what's going on. Oh, I see. So those kind of little notions that you get, you're able to understand how they're interpreting the world around them. It's a little different how you see something, and you can project things if you're using your third eye muscle. And there's a different way how you process things through your empathic center or your very sensitive areas of your heart. And so these are just some of the things that we bring up in class, and we just highlight with other different materials that Karen will start talking about through our program together that will help you build and reconstruct and understand how you process your life around you, and how you can work with that and develop that, so you're not cocooned in a shelter all your life because you feel too much when you go to the grocery store. It's just too much for you. You're exhausted afterwards, and too much of that, you start getting depressed because you feel like you're out of place and you don't know what's going on, and you don't have somebody so easily to come to and say, hey, do you feel everything? And some people be like, no, I don't understand that. I know as a little girl, Karen, I never got taught that. The animals taught me everything about that. No one came to me and said, Kathy, you're just a little too sensitive. That's all, suck it up. And that's hard to take down in your cultural and working with your culture around you too. So what do you think,
It
Karen?
really is. Yeah. And I guess I've always been sensitive. I'm an extrovert and I love people, but then I just get overwhelmed really easily. And you were the one that taught me that I really was developing my intuitive abilities more, because you were listening, and you're the one that taught me to listen for, like, well, I feel blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes she said, listen what you just said. I would say, like, well, I'm seeing a blah, da, 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 and she said, that's your intuition. And so I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But it can be really difficult learning for me as an extrovert, and Kathy, I think you are an introvert.
Yeah, I am an introvert, totally.
So this is good because we have sort of two different outlooks. But being an extrovert, I love being around people, but I don't know when to shut it down, and I just am like a sponge, and I pick up pain so much. So I love being out with people, and if everything's going well, I get charged up and it feels great. But then if it's not going well, it is just devastating. And I struggled with depression for years and years and years, and Reiki helped me with that. I remember lying in bed one night just worrying about all the animals that were out there suffering that I probably wasn't aware of, and just like, I mean, just insane, just thinking and worrying about stuff all the time. And I had to make a deal, like, okay, if I see the animal, I have to help it, but if I don't see it, then I'm not going to worry about it, because I just, or the news, just watching the news and living in these times right now. I mean, if you are really, really struggling, Reiki can help you with that.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's great. It's great to unite your intuition and your empathic sense together. And that's what Karen's do. She's on her road of, she's uniting and getting trust with both of them. And you can use those senses to help you with your life, to instead of being scared and going inside and just isolate yourself because you feel just exhausted from everything that's around you, you're able to work with that and work with your heart space, like compassion fatigue. That isn't, that deals with compassion, and that is your heart center. And learning that and understanding that and developing not things to block yourself out, but to help enhance your nutrition inside you, so you're able to process that information better, so you're not feeling so dead to the world.
Yeah. So Kathy, so what are we going to teach them, or what kind of things are we going to do with them in the class?
Well,
what can they expect?
A lot of little things. So we like Karen said, we're going through Reiki 1 and Reiki 2. We're LRMT licensed teachers from the International Center of Reiki Training. And so you will go through that program and get a certificate with that. With that, we're going to put some extra things into it. So different things like special meditations and experiences to help ground you, to get you closer to the Mother Earth, allow her light to come through you, to help your heart center, to help guide you through your passage, your path in your life. And then special exercises to help your well-being, so you're able to nourish yourself and go to the grocery store and go to the mall and go to that festival and go to that friend's house and be able to keep on feeling charged, even if you're an introvert. Right? That's a tricky thing for introverts. And so I just see so many Reiki practitioners out there that are very so sensitive, and they ask me, number one thing they say, how do you keep going out there? How do you do this? How do you do that without really suffering and feeling like you need your own time for a while? And so that's what we're going to help you do with these exercises, to get you on your path, and Reiki will guide you to and see what's best fit for you.
We do have a question, Kathy. Hey, it's from Nicole Walkington. Nicole. And Nicole, I believe, is going to be in our November masterclass for psychics.
Yes, for psychics. That's going to be fun, Nicole. I got to tell you, it's going to be fun.
So she took our class, for psychics, and so She said, what's it called when you can feel, see, and sometimes hear? I was always told I'm oversensitive. Those are just the clair senses. And I think everybody has them. We tend to cover them up as we're children because people look at you weird when you're like, I think I see grandma. He was like, no, you don't.
Or I can smell grandma,
Yeah, I was like, I smell grandma's perfume. No, you don't,
Yeah. It's definitely.
I hear things. I'm clairaudient. No, I'm not. People are like, oh, really, Karen? I thought they called that like multiple personality disorder or schizophrenia. No, no, we all have these abilities. There's some of us more than others, and it can be overwhelming. So Reiki, like Kathy said, we're going to teach you, some extra exercises and maybe do a meditation, some things like that to help you learn to navigate better.
Yeah, and develop that trusting relationship. Sometimes people are more sensitive in certain areas than other areas of our senses. And what will happen is that you probably have a very easygoing relationship with that. So I feel things. If I feel and see, that's my main ones. I do hear and stuff, but I feel and see a lot. And I'm very trusting with that. I'm very trusting with the inner guidance I get from it and the development I get around me with that processing those senses. So it's that trusting relationship you probably have with all those senses. And what you can do is really develop them. Really, really develop your heart and be able to echo out like a dolphin, echo out your heart space. And so people could feel your light from miles away, to be able to connect with animals, right? That's why when I was a little girl, I was talking through my heart a lot. And that's when the cats, my grandma had a farm with 30 cats, and they taught me how to talk with my third eye. And that's how they do it. And so it was kind of nifty how I started learning and developing and trusting these traits of mine, our senses. So it's just something I would say, like Karen said, we're everything, and just develop them more. So at least that connection with them, and that, hey, I do hear, I hear things. Or sometimes people hear singing bowls. So that ringing in your ears and stuff, that's more of a yogic kind of thing, and your body's a symphony. And so that's what I hear. I hear different echoes inside my body. And so I will hear different like crystal singing bowls in there. So there's all different ways of interpreting energy.
Right. And so the Reiki part of the class is really going to help you heal a lot of that. Well, it's not that it's abusive, but it doesn't help you for somebody to say like, oh, buck up, you're being too sensitive. I remember my mom saying, this world's going to chew you up and spit you out. You better toughen up, And so really all that does is just hurt you more. So the Reiki will help heal that. And then we're going to teach you some other things that will help you advance on your spiritual journey and just live life better. So the dates. So this is coming up in a couple of weeks. So this is for people who do not have Reiki at all. If you've already had Reiki 1 and 2, you'll be interested in the other one I'm going to tell you about. But October 2nd and 3rd, that's a Friday and a Saturday, all day, Central Time from 9 a.m. to, we usually schedule for like 6, just in case, depending, make sure we can have enough time. 9 to 6 Central Time, October 2nd and 3rd, all day Saturday. And did I say Friday and Saturday? All day Saturday and Sunday, sorry.
And if you'd like to retake the class from us, or you're a recurring student, let us know. We have a special recurring student fee, and you have to take both days, but please join us.
Yeah, you might pick up some other stuff. And then if you already have level 2 Reiki and you're interested in developing psychic ability more, we are teaching in November the 3-day master classes during the week. It's going to be November 9th through the 11th, and that is a Tuesday through Thursday. But you'll have enough time that you can probably make arrangements to attend that class if you wanted to. If you want to register for the Empath class, you're going to register through Kathy's website. That's www.wisconsinreiki.com. And if you want to register for the psychic class, and we're teaching that one together as well, you'll register through my website. I'm doing that one. It's www.reiki-institute.com. And that's it. We hope you'll join us.
We hope you join us. And again, if you're a recurring student or would just like to take the class just to see how it goes, Yeah, register with us. We'd love to have you in the class, and it is online on Zoom. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thanks.